So we dealing with a little bit of underage activity here. So my voice is going to be a little bit on the angry side. Okay. Let me do my shout out so we can go ahead and get this drag on. Because if there's not one thing that triggers me, is big dusties messing with little girls or making attempts at messing with little girls. Okay. Bridge Burners in the building. Samantha Morris in the building. Peace Azure is in the building. Adaria Jones. Trina Trinley is in the building. Crazy Beautiful Lens. Hey, boo. Cat's in the building. Black women, stop giving birth to your enemy is in the building. That's a fact. Who else we got? Carrington Williams. Anasta Rain. Hey, boo. Holland Lord Goddess is here. Coffee's here. The Unlikely's here. I don't think I've ever seen you. Beautiful Strangers here. Sue Divine. Pink Chocolate. Lady Armand is here. Lady Armand, I answered you back. We'll talk later after all this is over. But I answered you back. The $10 billion black woman is here. And Theoretical Views is here. Now, of course, you know you're going to see your shit on the screen at some point during this conversation. I don't know. And you guys in the backstage, I see you back there. Okay, I see y'all back there. I'm going to pull y'all up. First of all, can you guys hear me good? Because I need to be heard. 1 for yes, 2 for no. I don't know. Okay, I see ones. I don't know if you guys know who edp445 is. He is a humongous Dusty. He's also a humongous YouTuber. When I say humongous, he has millions of subscribers. Let me see if I can show you a picture of this atrocity right now. One second. All right, let me go back. This motherfucker looks terrible. So if you eating, put the shit down because you might throw the fuck up. Okay? Imagine being 13 and this is in your inbox trying to ruin your life. This thing is humongous. I think one of the worst things about this is that the acronym EDP stands for Eat That Pussy. EDP stands for Eat That Pussy. Y'all mad yet? This motherfucker looks deplorable and his actions are deplorable. This is not the first time he's gotten caught, y'all. He was forgiven for the first time when he tried it, allegedly, with a 15-year-old girl. So notice when you don't punish him first, the girl got younger. This one's 13. Well, Zaddy used to be a fan of his. It's this guy in the blue shirt, and I'm getting ready to show you, and y'all are going to react to a video. Zaddy pretended to be a 13-year-old girl and was doing back and forth chats with him. Set an appointment with him to meet up in person, and his fat ass showed up. He brought his big 600-pound life ass to come and try and ruin a 13-year-old girl's life, at least what he thought was a 13-year-old girl. Okay? I'm going to share again. This shit is ridiculous. Oh, and by the way, you want to take a stab at what Blackistan is calling this? You got it. Racism. Racism. Just like that screen says, warning, if you have anybody young in the room with you, please get them out. Please get them out of here. Okay?
What's up, guys? I know a lot of y'all are probably new to this channel, so I need everybody to go subscribe real quick. We do videos like little documentaries like this all the time on people. We travel the country doing this, catching people like EDP. So everybody go subscribe right now. Go subscribe. And if you want to see the full chat messages, join our website in the pinned comment. But everybody go subscribe right now. Turn on the notification bell. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. We are 1,500 miles away from home just to get this dude. So everybody go subscribe. Anyway, enjoy the video. What's up, guys? So these are our chat. And yeah, And if you want to listen to all the phone calls that we have recorded of the guy, then become a member or join our website. You can do either one in the pinned comment. Joining our website would be better. But yeah, we have tons of recorded phone calls to him.
Before Zaddy continues, hey Zaddy, this is fair use. Don't come for me, cutie pie. I am trying to critique your marvelous work. I'm going to go a little bit forward because he's just showing screenshots. I want you guys to see the confrontation. That's what I want y'all to see.
To him, videos of the stuff that he sent. So you should definitely join up and, you know, also. So thank you guys. So I'm going to say, any weapons on you?
No.
I'm going to say we were Sophie the whole time, okay? So if you want this to go well, I recommend you have a talk with us, okay?
Okay, cool. All right, let's have a talk.
Let's go have a talk. How about on that bench right there?
Okay.
Okay. Let's go have a seat.
All right. Right here?
Yeah, that's cool. We can just sit right here on this curb right here.
Okay, cool. What's up, man?
What's up?
No fist? Okay. No fist bump?
I don't fist bump people like you, man. To be
Okay.
honest.
So,
Okay.
so before we get into any of the messages right here, I have 84 messages.
Okay.
So we have you talking to Sophie, correct? Yes or no?
Right.
Okay. Sophie is how old? Before, and again, I have it right here. I know the answer, but I just
Okay.
need you to tell me the answer. How old is she?
13.
13. Okay. And before we get into the messages, there was sexual content involved, yes or no?
Right.
And you sent.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So again, so what brings you out here today?
Well, I was coming out here to
Glasses off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home. There was, you know, nothing that was one of these sexual.
Pause for the cause. Did that big dusty bitch just say he came to get a cupcake? I'm not fixing to let that slide. His round ass, and by the way, you forget black women are the fattest people, right? According to them. His round ass said he came to get a goddamn cupcake. Just thought I should throw that out there.
Sexual involved because I'm not like that, you know. Well, obviously the text messages and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was all that was going to happen.
Oh, okay. So you should title a video instead of, you know, your video almost through hands with a 13-year-old. You should title your video almost hands with a 13-year-old. I think that'll get a lot of hits, EDP.
I think so.
Yeah. So this is you texting all this, correct? This is your Instagram, yes or no?
Right.
Okay. All right. So again, what made you start this conversation with this said 13-year-old? You said what you're doing right here, correct? Yes or no?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, she messaged me, right? And she messaged me, and I'm not going to lie to you, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, person feels lonely and stuff, and they want the interaction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what had happened.
Okay, so this isn't what happened because she never said she was lonely right here, correct? Yes or no?
Correct.
Okay. And you did double text here, yes or no?
Correct.
Knowing, and it said on her profile 13, yes?
Correct.
Okay, so you initiated a conversation with a 13-year-old knowing she was 13, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, so is that a good look for you?
No, it's not.
Okay, so you've been exposed for this before.
Correct.
And you called them in thoughts, these other girls, and you know what? I've been following for a long time, and you know what? I said, you know what? He probably made a mistake, and you know, there are some attention-seeking ones, but this is damning.
Right.
I had to make sure myself.
Right.
Do you recognize me?
No.
Okay. I had to make sure myself that all these rumors were true. It sucks, man. I watched you in high school. Me and my friend Keyshawn thought you were hilarious, man. It's sad.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
But anyway, then you said,
Quick question. How long will this interview be?
You don't get to determine that.
Well, like, what I don't understand, why are you attracted to like 13-year-olds? Like, why are you attracted to underage? Because you clearly said in one of the screenshots that you've always wanted to be with someone younger. Like, you like fantasize about being with someone younger,
Right.
and you're scared of being a sting operation or cops.
Right.
Like, what goes through your head? What makes this okay for you? Because this is disgusting. Real, man.
What goes on is loneliness, dude. I'll be completely honest with you, man. I'm not gonna you. I'm not gonna shoot. You know.
Like, let me cut you off right there. Okay. When you say loneliness, like, we've heard that millions of times, right?
Right.
Trust me, this is not our first time doing this. We've confronted hundreds of people,
Right.
and every single time, some of them do say they're lonely, and sometimes we do understand that they're lonely because maybe they're not as popular or they're not as outgoing. But you have millions of followers.
Right.
Like, how are you lonely? You have like
Right.
millions of followers. I bet you there's chicks in your DMs trying to hit you up,
Absolutely.
and you're here for a 13-year-old.
And I recall, I followed you for a while. I recall a few years ago, you did brag about having a girlfriend. You also in a live stream bragged about this little affair that you had with a teacher. So you probably have a ton of females in your DMs interested in you because, people like you for your personality and whatnot. And, and then when you say specifically, I've always fantasized about someone younger with a big age gap. You did say that, correct? Yes or no?
Correct.
That you fantasize about someone younger.
Correct.
What is that fantasy? Because it's not just loneliness.
You know what it is, man.
We really don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're not like that. We're not like that.
Yeah.
We're not attracted to minors.
Bro, come on, man. You know exactly what it is, dude. Okay?
No,
Are you a
we're
pedophile?
attracted
No, I'm not.
to we're attracted to female our own age, dude.
Let this
This
be
is
known. Let this be known. I am not.
So what are you then? If you're here to meet up with a 13-year-old girl after sending your dick to her, then what do you call it then?
I am a guy that is. What am I?
If it takes you this long to answer what you are, you're pretty sure that you're some type of creep.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be real with you, okay?
I want you to be real with
Yeah,
me. This
absolutely.
is
That's what we're here
cool.
for.
I'm gonna be real with you, okay?
Yep.
My mom, may she rest in peace. You guys know that, right? You guys.
Somebody come strangle me right now. Y'all heard the first person he blamed, right? His mama. This is what y'all sons do when you protect them. They throw your stupid ass right up under the bus first chance they get. We're going to watch a little bit more of this, and then we're going to drag.
You guys seen the videos?
Yeah.
All that bullshit. My mom did not raise a fucking. Okay, she did not raise a creep or where. I know what the screenshots say. Okay, I'm aware of that. I'm looking right at them. Okay, my mom did not raise. And as a matter of fact, if she was here with.
Your mom has nothing to do with
Right.
this.
Yeah. Don't bring
Don't bring your
her
family
into
into
it.
because we're not here for your family. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't drag your family into this. This is all about you.
Understood.
This is your action.
Yeah. This is your 600-pound life, not anybody else's.
This is not
Understood?
cool.
So
One
My
other-
600-pound life.
One other thing, let me tell you something, okay?
What's up? Real quick.
What does EDP mean?
yeah, it looks like you've
So
eaten
you-
looks like you've eaten everything in the world but the pussy. You know. Okay. You know what? We're gonna talk to you. And
We're trying to talk.
Because
Okay.
you guys, hold on, come down.
yeah. I'll stop. I'll stop. We're just here to talk to you. So what was that? So you said you know exactly what I mean. What do we mean?
No, what does EDP mean? Why do you if you call yourself EDP,
You know what's funny,
What?
right?
what's
At the very beginning.
this is not funny at all. This ain't
Couple things right off top. He blamed his mom, tried to invoke her, okay? Then he tried to run. None of this is his fault. It's never, ever their fault, okay? He's pretty damn big, so this drag is gonna be pretty tough. We fixing to work our glutes out real quick and drag this son of a bitch. Again, fair use for whoever's listening. And shout out to my mods. Shout out to my mods. I seen a couple of Dusties come in here and y'all wasn't bullshitting. I absolutely love it. Kyra, you want to jump in here, baby girl?
Yes, it is very telling that he kept trying to deflect responsibility, but the white daddy kept bringing him back to the point. Like, do you notice that? Like, in that video, he kept trying to go off topic, trying to deflect, and the white man had to bring him back home to the crux of the matter.
It's his dead mother's fault. He does not know what you're talking about. It's his dead mother's fault. And also, later on in the video, concerning the 15-year-old, he said she contacted him first. All right? Jump in,
Who cares
JoJo.
if...
Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. I didn't know you weren't done.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Go ahead, JoJo.
My thing about it is always everybody's damn fault. It is always everybody's fault. These men don't want to take responsibility for nothing. And every time you hold them, see, their degeneracy is spilling over into other communities. And now that these other communities are taking note and realizing that something is wrong, oh, it's racism. No, it's not. Y'all are trifling. Y'all are nasty. And anybody who fixed their mouth to say anything about racism needs to be in a cell right next to them.
Well, that's what Blackistan is currently doing. The only reason those guys did that, according to, them, is that because he's a black guy, okay? And what I saw in this comment section that y'all promptly took care of was, what about when white men do it? Okay.
Is that
You
the
say that to say
conversation
what?
right now?
You say that to say what? You understand what I'm saying?
Child, they literally say that about everything. This is a little bit off topic, but like I was listening to They Don't Know by John B. And in the comment section, they did that. What if it was a black man with a fine light skin or white woman? Would he be getting this much love? Does it matter? Why does it matter so much?
They are degenerates. By percentage, they're degenerate. There's nothing else to be really said. The receipts come in faster than I care to come live. Y'all know I'll go live once, maybe twice a week. Here I've been live for the past, I've gone live 3 times in 4 days. That is not me. Their degeneracy does not rest. It doesn't rest.
It doesn't. And now everybody else is taking note. And now that everybody else is taking note and pointing it out, like, hey, this is nasty and trifling. You are nasty and trifling. Now they're racist. Like every time a white woman don't agree with them, if a white woman side with black women over black men, oh, these men have a whole fit. Just get your racist ass out of here. Don't get out of black issues. But it's okay for non-black people to be in black issues when they side with you.
Pretty much.
If
Congo,
these go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Congo Knight, you want to jump in, babe?
Girl, I want to say something. This ugly Pillsbury Dome burnt motherfucker over here trying to touch a little 13-year-old girl. Can you imagine the amount of yeast infections he's going to give that poor little girl? And the fact that it takes a white man to stand up and do something about it, because the black community, you don't ever see black men exposing this kind of behavior, ever. They don't ever. They over here exposing down low brothers, but they don't want to even expose these pedophiles. Why are they always protecting them? Why are they protecting this mess? They do not care about the women in our community. We got no one to protect us. The mothers don't protect us. And now you got these men. They don't want to say nothing. They rather expose a DL brother than exposing these pedophiles running through. Any black man could have did this. Any black man could have did this, but it took a white guy to do it. I just want to know why. You know why? Because they're speaking for the muted voices of the black women. They see how we can't talk. So they're standing up for us. And I really appreciate that.
Thank you, beautiful stranger and wealthy knowledge. The super chats were going while I was on the other screen. I appreciate y'all so much. You don't even know. Let me pull someone else up here. Go ahead, JoJo. Jump in, hon.
Somebody took the words right out of my mouth in the comment section. Chris Hansen has been exposing white male predators for years. So all of this, what if it was a white man? They've been getting exposed.
Your
y'all
camera's
hide
on,
y'all.
baby girl. Veronica, your camera's on.
No, that's
Jump
fine.
back in, Kyra. Oh, you're okay with that? Okay, just
I'm
wanted to make
loving
sure.
this. Thank
Go ahead,
you.
Kyra.
Oh, well, that is exactly what it is. It's always racism. Whenever, first of all, why does it matter if the white man's doing it? That just shows how much of a follower they are. Like what? You can't think for yourself. You can't be accountable for yourself without the white man's foot on your neck.
Man, listen, I told you they copy everything degenerate. There's nothing positive from the greater group or whatever you want to call them that they copy. No building, no conquering, no providing, no protecting, no nothing. But as soon as somebody start doing something degenerate, they're all over it. All over it. Okay? Rose Green, you got something to add, babe?
I absolutely do. I was reading an article this morning about some Black boys, teenagers between 11 and 14, who were carjacking and robbing people in California. And they went on a spree of like 4 of these before they were caught. And the police returned them to their parents. And then a few days later, they were at it again. And it just infuriates me because it just like ramps up to this kind of behavior where you end up having men like this, where like he's done it before and he's gotten away with it other than the 15-year-old incident. And these patterns of behavior are exactly why they keep doing it. And it's getting to the point to where, because of the way Black people, especially Black women, go out and advocate for them, the police aren't even holding on to them. They're not even like holding them accountable because they don't want like a bevy of Black women at their doors causing problems for them.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I'm starting to believe that a lot of these mammies are suppliers of their hunger. I'll just put it like that. Nicole W., you want to add?
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
I'm not really shocked by EDP, aka Eat That Pussy 445 behavior, or the fact that these two poor men had to sit there and do some kind of ghetto style intervention with him.
He
in
is
broad
lying.
daylight.
Pussy don't have
Yeah.
those kind of calories, and his ass is humongous. He eating something other than pussy.
I know.
I can't stand him. I'm so triggered by him. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
It's okay. He is extremely triggering. But yeah, I would. One thing that upsets me in the Black community, as I am Black, I'm not using my pick because I look horrible. I'm in the middle of an allergy attack.
I bet you
Is
look
that
beautiful.
pedophiles? Thank you. Are pedophiles? I appreciative of shows like
Eat That Pussy gonna flag us if we say the P word.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
so,
we can call them underage pussy hounds. How about that?
Okay. So underage pussy hounds.
Disgusting.
Or underage pussy hounds, regardless of race. It upsets me because I treat many people in the Black community who try to sweep it under the rug. And I'm like, no, pedophiles are, underage pussy hounds are underage pussy hounds. I've treated them all over the rainbow. They all have a very similar pathology. But I'm just sitting here thinking, really? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised EDP is out here acting like this. I'm not surprised he got
he admitted that it wasn't his first time.
Nope.
Veronica, you want to jump in? Veronica. Hey, lady, you got something to say?
I'm just listening. I know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Coffee G, you got something to say?
Like all comments.
Oh yeah. Hey, ladies, how you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
I am doing well. This is not EDP first time in rodeo. He had a 17-year-old not too long ago, maybe about a couple of years, maybe about 1 or 2 years ago, that they swept it under the rug. And he took down all the videos that he had up talking about dating younger girls. This fat nasty titty having ass Negro set
Big
his
stank
ass right
funky
there
motherfucker.
and let the white dude just go in on him in his 600-pound life and this, that, and the other, and stood there like a fool. So who is White Zaddy now?
You saw how
They
cordial
not the
he was?
police.
Sure, we can go over here. Sure, we can talk. Sure, I'll take my glasses off. You saw that shit? Just as cordial as he wanted to be.
So submissive. He was so obviously submissive. I was just too disgusted. And these men are literally mad. The black men are mad that he got caught about something that they've been doing. Also, I don't know if you guys heard that, Coach Greg Adams, who also advocates being with younger women, the guy who killed his wife and his daughter, he was buying merchandise and listening to him. And the police, and they put it all in a police report. So Coach Adams had to come out and say that he wasn't not part of it. He didn't advocate for it, but you are advocating for this. The
Manosphere has been having a bad week. The Manosphere has been having a bad week, and they look real bad out here. It's very disgusting.
And that man raped his own daughter. Like, what?
They like to call the divested spaces the opposite end of the Manosphere, but we're not doing none of that nasty shit over here. We running. Y'all are accosting everybody. The white man's area, you're accosting children, you beating down pets. I don't know if y'all saw that video, the dude throwing a damn dog off the bridge. They've been cutting up all week. All week. Her divinity, jump in.
Hi, so from London, actually. I've been watching your show for quite a while. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, and thank you for watching.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I've been waiting to get on this show, actually, because there's a lot of pointers that I wanted to say about being divested and these black men, because it's not getting any better, to be honest.
Of course it's not. We got a big bitch running around here trying to accost goddamn children. I mean, that big humongous bitch. That is the biggest man I've seen all week. He would crush a child if he touched a child.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I never watched this video from the beginning, but come in and I'm just so appalled at what's going on with these men. They're not accountable for anything. They play a game. It's just despicable. Like they're not getting any better. And
they won't.
Still, if black women are still looking to them for as good mates, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say.
Well, if you want your purse stolen, sure, that's an awesome mate. Go for it, dummy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even look at them as attractive anymore. It's actually gotten to that point. I can't even look at them as being attractive or anything like that. So, but yeah, I'm listening, but I'll be chiming in. So yeah, hi ladies.
Hey, thank you for coming up. It's back on Kyra.
Oh, I was just checking to make sure I wasn't muted.
No.
My thing with this is why. I'm sorry, but I don't understand why the manosphere just encourages such degenerate behavior.
Because they're degenerates. That's like asking why cabbages make cabbage seeds or some shit. They're degenerates. They are fucked up, y'all.
I don't know. Maybe they were emboldened this week because of this trial or something. I don't know.
No, nobody can touch them. Nobody can punish them. Nobody can do anything. And y'all have receipts right there. This is not the first time Eat That Donut accosted a child. Okay? This is not the first time. He was able to say it was a misunderstanding last time in Blackistan, swept it up under the rug. He still got over 2 million subscribers. And when you don't provide consequences, this is what happens. What happens.
Well, you know how they look at the little girls. She was fast, so that's how the black community justifies it. That this 13-year-old girl, this 15-year-old girl was fast.
No.
It's never the man's fault. He could be 60-something years old, openly and looking at, shall we say, maidens,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the 9-year-old's fault. But that's Blackistani mentality for you right there.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And JoJo, jump in, baby.
Like, you know how I feel about this because I have been touched by grown men. And I've
Me
been
too.
sexualized by grown men and identified as a fast little girl because my body dare go through puberty first.
No.
Oh no, he needs to go to prison. And any man that feels like this is okay needs to go to prison right with him. Y'all need to be in matching jail cells, be cellmates.
Well, I saw a video that was uploaded about an hour ago, and there's another Zaddy asking about jail. So I'm watching this. I'm keeping tabs on this. They're gonna have to get that boy 3 or 4 sets of handcuffs. There's no way he can put his hands behind his goddamn back. He got like 6 backs.
I'm all for prison. He needs to go to prison. I had enough of all of this. Their degeneracy is so deeply ingrained. It's normal. It's literally normal. They watch 2 people beat on each other, and that's black love. This degenerate behavior is so normal that when other people in other communities point it out and say, you are disgusting, it goes from, oh, well, this is just normal to, oh, racism. No, that's not racism. Didn't nobody make him message a little girl and expect sex from her? Nobody made him do that. He did that all by himself. Nobody made him send dick pics. He did that all by himself. Nobody made him do anything.
The fact he called her his princess.
You got to echo.
Right, can I just say?
Yeah, you can jump in. Hey, somebody has an echo. Just letting you know.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that I feel like this mentality of younger women stems from men like Kitten Hills. Because they, I don't know what it is, because I feel like the reason why they want to go for younger girls anyway is because it's their only way of usurping their little authority that they feel that they have over these young girls.
When you're 13, 14, and 15, you don't really know what bills are. So they don't ask them about money. They don't know about responsibility and that type of shit. All they have to do is show up and I guess ask for a fucking cupcake. Oh, fat ass motherfucker. And then they got the little girl. That's why you have to watch them when they like talking to children. How are you 30 years old and you have anything in common talking to this child? Leave the child alone and walk away. He doesn't have any impulse control.
Exactly.
And you can tell by his body.
Exactly. And for the woman in the comment section who said, feed them to the sharks, baby, going to prison, they kill pedophiles in prison. Let me tell you what they do to pedophiles in prison. They do everything else to you. He will be beaten to death. He will not live past a week in prison. I guarantee you. And those are hardened criminals. Those are killers, robbers, gang members. These are hardened criminals who kill pedophiles. That is he go to prison, he's not gonna make it.
Call them child predators because pedophiles for some reason triggers the algorithm. Child predators. That's what we meant to say.
But these grown men have been doing it for years though. They've been standing on the corner of the street, like outside the bookies and stuff like that, hollering at any girl that's wearing a skirt, just wearing a skirt or just anyone that will give them attention. They've been doing it for years. There's nothing new.
No, it's not. It's always been like that. Even some of their religions that they made up, it's a playpen for people that like to, you know. Yeah, it's a playpen for them.
I like to add that what they're also doing, in my opinion, is the black men abandoned their children. And so a lot of girls have daddy issues. So these older men like to swoop in and prey upon these girls, to with their daddy issues to try to fulfill it with nothing. All he has to do for these young girls is swoop through, maybe buy her a meal and give her attention, and that's it. So on one hand, they create black men create the vacuum by abandoning their children, and then they leave the vacuum open for the predators to come in and just finish destroying the girls.
They are so degenerate. Their minds are still like children as adult males. But I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all better get it together, because if I have anything to do with any of that, I don't even have the whole story. I will call the police on your ass if it looks suspicious to me. Okay? So get right or get arrested. Point blank fucking period.
On the Discord, one of the ladies, and I forgot which one it was, one of the ladies shared a post that was made by a black man who said it was a picture of a baby, a light-skinned baby with the curly hair and the light eyes. And they were like, I'm gonna get me a light skin no matter what, because I want this kind of child. And if this child misbehaves, it's easier for me to forgive it because it's light skin and they're gonna have an easier life, and that's easier on me as a parent. Just fetishize the whole child.
That's toxic as fuck.
Wow, that's disgusting.
And I'm sitting here looking at it like, and you felt like that was okay to post something like that.
If you're not talking, put yourself on mute so the echo will stop.
I was purely disgusted. These men are disgusting. I got a lot to say because so many of us are touched at a young age and we're sexualized so early. I had no control over my body after puberty early, but it didn't stop those men from touching me. They sit here and do whatever they want, and don't nobody hold them accountable. Don't nobody look at them and say what you are doing is wrong. You are disgusting. You are a degenerate. Go to prison. And I hope you go to prison. And any man that want to fix his mouth and say, oh, this is racism, give them matching jail cells. Because child predators don't last long in prison. And baby, I hope they give it all to you.
Is that even still the case, JoJo? Now, I know when I was younger, in my 20s, child predators would get fucked up in jail. Is it still like that today? Because it seems like people that I'm looking at are condoning some of this shit.
Actually, no, it's not like that anymore. It used to be like
really?
that. It's not like that anymore. I know on my own personal life, I know two people who's in jail currently, is still alive. One had killed the baby. Both of them actually ended up killing the child because they had the intercourse in another area. But you know what I mean. I didn't want to put that out, but y'all know what I mean. And these kids were under 3. Both little girls were under 3. And they're both still alive in jail now, in prison now.
See what I'm saying? Congo, you still there?
Yeah, they're lucky if they even get jail time. That is one of the hardest things to get convictions is sex offenders. They never get jail time, and when they do, it's really, really low. They're getting 6 months. They're getting out for raping child after child after child. And I think it's funny that this guy can put his hands on a keyboard to try to get a girl. He can't even clap his hands as wide as his ass is.
Hey.
I mean, he can't even clap. But I want to say something about a girlfriend of mine that got raped by a cop when she was in her teens, pulled her over for a traffic stop, put a gun to her head, and raped her. Now imagine the kind of trauma she has. So and of course he was a black. You can't even get pulled over by them. They can't even go in law enforcement and do the right thing.
Yeah, you saw that other degenerate this week that just murdered his wife and his daughter because he got charged with sexual assault. So since his life is fucked up, everybody else gotta die. That's how they think.
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
got to go.
And
Sexual assault of a family member too, though.
Oh Lord, I didn't know it was a
Got a
family
police
member.
officer. It was a female family member.
And I don't know if you listen to that interview, but Nick Cannon even justified why R. Kelly liked little girls because he has the same mental intelligence as little as little teenage girls, because he first of all, he's illiterate, and secondly, he does not know how to handle social interactions as an adult should. He has the mind of a child, and he used that to justify it. It does not matter. That is still a grown man. They
Well,
all, in my opinion, death. You deserve death.
Now, watch it be talking out both sides of their neck. So since he has the mind of a child, he needs a conservator that's going to handle all his business for him. Since he's a child, he can't handle money. He can't have a driver's license. He can't have all the things that comes along with adulthood. Now, I bet you he'll protest that shit because he want to have access to adulthood, but still get the benefit of the doubt when he's out here being a fucking predator.
Let me tell you something. Having that happen to you, it sticks with you forever. You are never going to forget it. You might forget little details here and there, but what happened to you, you will never forget that. Never. These little girls are damaged and changed forever. Mm-hmm. And you mean to tell me that getting these men behind bars is hard?
Yeah. It's really hard. Like someone said in the chat, you damn near got to have a tape of the incident because your word is your word against theirs. Unless it shows up in some sort of physical examination, then that's another story.
They had a whole video of R. Kelly pissing on this little girl.
Girl.
A whole video. And the only thing that didn't send him to prison is because they paid her family for her to get on that stand and say it wasn't her. If she would have never testified, he would have went to prison. If they would have never paid her family off, he would have went to prison. There was a whole video played in court of him pissing on that little girl. His little underage girlfriends throughout the whole trial stayed by his side. Literally, he is guilty as sin, and the man was proclaiming innocence as his little girls were accompanying him to court.
That's their preference. They have preference in court. All that shit y'all learned about them being drugged through court because they're black, it is completely false. They actually have the court officers being a little bit more careful because they don't want to be called racist and ruin their career. So they go a little bit lighter on them, if you ask me. Welcome, Elle.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, darling.
I'm not shocked, first of all. And it makes me very angry because it's just a circular motion because it's like nobody ever calls it out. Nobody wants to call it out. It's the big elephant in the room in the Black community that no one wants to call out. Especially other men and other mammies, because that will make them have to look at a lot of people in their family, people who they know,
hey,
who
Black
are
is saying, fuck your family members. I just wanted you to know that's how I felt. Fuck your family members. If I find out anything about them, I'm sending your beloved uncle, the one that make them real tender ribs on 4th of July, I will send that motherfucker straight to jail. Y'all better do something because everybody ain't out here playing with y'all.
And you know what? The men don't blame the other men. They blame they blame the child or the woman. I was in a situation a few weeks ago where I was over at my godmom house and she had her sons over there, 3 apes. They don't date Black women. They only like white and non-Black women. And it was a lot of people coming over. It was on Easter. And we started talking about kids and just, having kids, being parents and everything like that, and baby mamas and baby daddies and things of that nature. And somehow the topic of my son's father came up, the one that's 50 something years old with 21 kids. That's the fake ass minister came up. And that turned into, because I had made a statement earlier, like, oh, well, I never felt like a child growing up because I always had so much adult responsibility placed on me. And then, with the age difference between me and my son's father. So one of the apes, one of my godmom's apes said, well, you said that you never felt like you was a child. So, you know that you shouldn't have been messing with him when you was only 17? I said, did he know that he wasn't supposed to be approaching me when he was 34 and I was 17? He was like, but no, you said that you never felt like a child. When you never felt like a child because you always had so much responsibility on you when you was a child. I said, so was it my fault I had so much responsibility placed on me as a child that I never got to feel like a child, or was it my parents? And he just got real quiet.
They spin them narratives like records on your ass.
It's never the man's fault. It's never the man's fault.
Shit. Y'all don't get in no situation where you talking to a Dusty and that shit ain't being recorded. You gathering evidence. You engaging in risky behavior talking to him to begin with. So cut your damn camera on, because you might have to testify for your goddamn self.
To piggyback off of what you said, watch it with them at work too. You may want a little record, especially if you have to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
They always try to get you fired or something. But I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No, do your thing, honey. Do your thing. This is a really passionate topic. So it's like people got shit to say. So I completely understand. Trust me.
They pray on us. They just pray and pray. They just pray and look. Like I had shared with some of the other ladies in the chat on Sunday when we saw talking. Like there was nothing about me that looked mature or anything back then. I really looked 17 at the damn skating rink. But that just goes to show you that they have no cutoff point.
No, they don't.
No cutoff point.
Rose Green, you haven't said nothing in a bit. You want to add?
I have two things to say.
Go ahead, darling.
The first thing is going to sound a bit much, but I honestly hope that the way things are going in the Black community don't get better. I hope that they get worse. I kind of see it as a fever, and either it's going to burn itself out and everything's going to get better, or the body is going to die, and I'm okay with either.
Right, me too.
So I hope that things just, I hope that, Black women with any sense just kind of buckle down, keep your head down, and and your eyes and ears open, and just I hope it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse until something happens. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, I feel that Black women are quite honestly, I feel like a lot of Black women are quite honestly okay with these things happening to little girls and to other women. Because they're like, it happened to me and I survived and you will too. And I feel like Black women are our worst enemies aside from Black men.
Especially ones that keep having these damn Dusties.
You know what happened?
Whenever I see a Black woman and she says, I want a boy when she's pregnant, I already know who I'm dealing with. And I'm making an exit strategy. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Congo.
I'm sorry. I was going to piggyback off what she just said. Yes, these Black women are okay when their daughters get accosted and raped and molested. And they do say that, oh, well, it happened to me and I survived. But what it also does is it stunts their mental progression. So it's just like a little girl not protecting another little girl. And they're stuck right there. Sometimes they're stuck for the rest of their lives if they don't get therapy. So they're trauma stuck and they're creating more trauma stuck. So it's just a nasty, degenerate community that we've come from.
Mm-hmm. And all of us, we're all Black. We all know at least one or two real hardcore idiots that you can't spend a lot of time around because you're either going to sever the relationship altogether, or you're going to end up having to whoop their ass. And I would love to be placed in a situation where I can show a mammy that y'all not the only thugs. Keep acting an ass. Keep it up. We tired of your sons, and we tired of your daddy and your brother too.
Sorry, I wanted to say something. So
go ahead, honey.
Do you know what I've noticed? I feel like things are normalized when a Black man has done something to us, or when a Black man does wrong, that is normalized. Their behavior is normalized. But when it's other people, it's like, oh my God, why did he, he was so wrong. Everything gets thrown at that person, that guy, because he's from a different race. But when it's a black man, it's almost like they can do no wrong. And I feel like even when he's a black man is molesting a black girl, black women or other people within our, I don't want to say the word community because I don't feel like I'm a part of the community. But within Pakistan, they just normalize it because they just think, well, it's a black man. That's like your brother. That's like your dad. That's like your, he can't do no wrong because he's from you're the same color, you're the same culture, whatever. And I think it's a dysfunctional mindset. It's just completely dysfunctional.
It's a wasteland, and it will always be this way. We can come back in the year 3000 as aliens, and they still gonna be fucked up. They're gonna be on flying saucers talking about not all.
Yeah, and I feel like it's at the point now where it's like separating the wheat from the tares.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much about what race you're from. It's more about what character aligns with your own. So that's what divested means to me. Is finding your tribe. It's not so much to do with your race. It's more to do with the character of that person, of your group.
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Nicole W., you want to jump in here, baby?
Oh, hey. Still here. Hey, everybody. I was just kind of listening and just kind of meditating on what everybody has been saying. And yes, it's true. Many people who are trauma bonded and honestly look for more people to trauma bond with. I have treated generations of families who have been touched by child predators.
Generational.
Your thing is 100% correct.
Wow. Well, thank you for counseling them. And there's like the previous person said, it's not going to get any better. There will always be more to counsel. They are always going to be there. As long as a Dusty has a hand and a penis, the person that's next to him is in danger. Period. Period. Jump in, Kyra.
Yes, you're absolutely right. They are always going to be in danger as long as they have access to you. And then you wonder why. I've heard in Europe where they make the suburbs the ghettos where they house the blacks, and it make it hard for you to get into the city if you don't have the money to live there. You wonder why other countries don't want them. You wonder why neighborhoods here, like that neighbor with that drill sergeant, why they stop them and ask them what they're doing here.
Yeah, don't nobody want to be around them. Speaking of who we were talking about earlier, I was just thinking, maybe eat that donut, eat that pussy, or whatever we calling him. Since he has 2 million subscribers, I'm thinking every time he gets a subscriber, they buy him a meal. Because how do you get that fucking big, and how do you still have a sex drive? I'm not even sure if he knows he has a penis or not. I know he hasn't seen it. I'm just baffled by this whole goddamn situation. How you can't see that dick? You can't see it at all, and you trying to pawn it off on somebody. I can't wait till we end this show so I can drag his ass. I can't wait till the end of this show because I'm going to drag him from one room to the other. But I'll be strong as fuck by the end. But we gonna get it in. Jump in, JoJo.
I don't know what to say about EDP. He is, I don't even know what to say. I mean, he's superly overweight. He's not attractive. But you know what I think about the fact that he don't get women? That's what it is. You don't get women. Therefore, you go and find a child to manipulate.
He had the nerve to say that people be in his inbox. I don't
Ain't nobody in there is inbox. A trainer, Weight Watchers, who? Ain't nobody in his inbox. Believe me. Because if they were, he wouldn't deal with a 13-year-old. a 17-year-old, and you wouldn't make videos about how to pick up little girls like most of the manosphere do.
Coffee G, you want to add?
Oh, that's me right there. That's who
Oh,
you talking
okay.
to.
I said Joe. I said JoJo, and then Coffee G started talking. JoJo,
Oh,
get your
that
ass
was
in here.
JoJo, girl.
I'm cool. I'm literally sick to my stomach. Like I am laying flat. I'm sick to my stomach because they will rationalize anything so they can continue their degenerate behavior. And it's okay when it's happening to us. They can abuse us, do whatever they want to do to us. Whatever it is that they want to do. But the moment somebody says, okay, that's enough, it's racist. I don't understand that. These men literally cry racism.
If you don't let them run amok, it's racist. That everything is racist when you don't let them run amok.
I'm really sick of all of this. Burn it to the ground. Let them burn out. Let them burn themselves out because clearly it's not going to get better by itself.
No, it's not.
Clearly it's not. And then these black women are literally saying, oh, well, we're suffering because we don't let black men lead. How do you let a man be a man? Please explain that to me. Either you are going to be a man or you're not.
Yeah, there's no such thing as let a man be a man because a man won't stop you from letting him be one. That's a fact.
It is extremely simple. I am so sick of the degeneracy. I'm so sick of this behavior. They disgusted me. It is extremely disgusting. They will literally rationalize anything.
Say what now?
Can I piggyback off of y'all with that about the let a man lead? I cannot fucking stand that statement because we all know. Look, I'm 39 years old. I have yet to meet a 1-8 that was smarter than me. Never met one. Never met one that was as smart as I am, as ambitious as I am, as compassionate as I am, as quick thinking as I am, as responsible as I am. So I don't understand these women trying to get these nakers to do shit that they have showed you over and over and repeatedly. They can't even manage their own lives and make good decisions in their own damn lives. Why are you trying to make them be responsible for taking care of other people and an entire household? They cannot do it.
You can't
They
take
don't
care
have
of their
the
health.
mental capacity or the intelligence. They just can't do it.
They
Shit,
can't
quit
even
trying to
control
ask
their
them.
dicks.
Exactly. You can't control yourself and you're not smart. Shit. That shit get on my nerve.
I'm not totally convinced that 8-ball, that bowling ball we just saw has a dick. I need proof. I need proof. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit. Maybe he was telling the truth that he was just coming to get a cupcake. Oh, fat ass. Oh, let me hush.
Can we talk about how
I
Minnie's
didn't even know who he was.
Say that again. I couldn't hear both of y'all.
Sorry, she can go ahead.
Can we talk about how Mimis don't do anything? I'm going to tell y'all a real true story that a black woman has said before. This is a true story, and I swear I'm not making any of this up. A young black girl was also molested. Told her it was by her aunt's boyfriend. So guess what she did? She was brave enough to tell her aunt what happened. And instead of her aunt kicking that man out of her house and holding that little girl and letting her know that that was not her fault, the girl who is now a woman, she stripped her naked and paraded her body around these men as if she was saying, why would you want a little girl when you could have a grown woman? Can we talk about the women?
You're kidding me.
I'm not making that up. And now as a grown woman, she hurts herself. She self-harmed.
Oh my God.
But you remember that sometime last year, this video went viral on TikTok. Oh, well, it was off of TikTok. It was a black woman, and she always, dressed however and was always dancing. And sometimes she would have videos where her daughters, who were, of various ages, would be dancing with her. And on one of them, she went viral because she took her daughter and I guess she found out her daughter was messaging people on messaging men. The little girl was like less than 13 years old. She found out her daughter was messaging men online and soliciting them, I guess, for money. I'm not quite sure. And she had like a little girl's body, like the standard kind of rectangular shape, no boobs, no butt, all of that we all kind of have before we go through puberty. And she took this I guess she found out that she was doing that, and she brought her on TikTok or YouTube or something and made a video talking about, oh, so now you selling pussy in my house, huh? This is what you do, and I think called her a fat ass or something, in my house selling pussy. Who wants this? With what she had her turn around with what ass, what titties, but you're gonna sit up in my house and sell pussy, huh? Is that what we're doing? You selling pussy in my house?
You know how I saw that? I saw that a black man posted that and literally blamed the little girl and said the thought behavior starts early. A black man said that. He didn't say nothing about her upbringing or how she's a little girl or anything like that. The thought behavior starts early. That is what that grown man said, and that is how I came across that post. And I don't even follow that man, but that is how I came across that post because it was trending.
It was trending. And
And
then
it
her
was
mom was like,
absolutely
oh, well, you don't even wash your ass. I done seen your panties. I was like, whoa, first of all, why would you do any of this? But why would you say that?
Oh, black mothers have been doing this for a very long time. There was even a black mother who, and for the woman in the comment section who asked, is she okay? Yes, she's okay. I've actually spoken to her and she's doing good, for those of you who want to know. But there was this black girl who was giving head to this woman's son, and she was like, you nasty, it's boo-boo on the floor, it's this and that, this house stink. Girl, this is your house. This is your house with stains on the floor, with boo-boo on the floor, with animal feces. Like, this is your house. That's your trifling son.
I want to say something.
Go ahead, say something, baby.
When you have those African communities where they circumcise their daughters, and I've
Mhm.
always wondered how they could do that. They know how painful it was to them, how they could do that. Well, we're literally living in the same situation. These men have trained black women to just do their bidding, so they don't even have to. We're conditioned, like the black mammy is conditioned to perpetrate these black predators' behavior. They're hurting their own children because it was taught to them. It's so they don't have to sit back. No wonder they don't respect us. I mean, at the end of the day, how can you respect a mother who will sit there and know this pain was done to her and perpetrate it on her own daughter? This is how disgusting our community has been, so brainwashed by the black male degenerate. And they just passing it on, just like a domino effect. One mother teaches another child, that child teaches his other child. It's just going on and on and on. They don't even have to touch us. They just watch the mothers do it.
And you're absolutely right, because another lady, I'm not sure who it was saying, how can Black women watch this? And one thing that I was thinking as I was thinking is like, we are like terribly brainwashed, because I was, with Derek Chauvin's trial, I was not protesting and I didn't actually care. I felt like what he did was wrong. But then I was like really conflicted about it. But then I thought about it because, I come from a household with, I won't say my brothers are good men because I don't know them in that capacity because I'm their sister, but they're good sons and they're good brothers. And we also have a white stepfather who's been with us like, longer than my father, longer than our father was. And I was thinking, how hard it was for me to divorce myself from that situation when I do have strong men in my life. How hard it must be for Black women who didn't have any of that, who've known nothing but abuse and everything and think that that's normal. How hard it is for them to divorce themselves from Black men. Because I had to look at Derek and I was like, well, if I look at him as the man who's been my father for like, now longer than he hasn't been my father, he looks like Derek. And my biggest predator is a man who looks like George. Yeah. And if I have any problems with a man, it's going to be a man who looks like George. It's always been a man who looks like George. And if my father were around, George would be lucky if all he got was a knee on the neck until he died. My father would have shot first and asked questions later. So, you know, if we can, I feel like we need to stop. And I know that we say, you know, we look at Black men and we see, allow them to see, like, you know, their fathers and their brothers and everything. But when I was able to look at Derek, who looks like the father who raised me and spoils me terribly, it was real easy to, like, you know, sympathize and empathize with him and say, well, you know what? That animal got exactly what he deserved, and I hope more of them get it. And I'm actually sorry that Derek is going to jail for protecting a community from somebody who was doing something that they shouldn't have been doing, and who wouldn't have been. And they call these like white supremacist talking points when you talk about how somebody wouldn't have been in that position if they hadn't done anything. But he wouldn't have been in that position if he hadn't done anything.
I'm trying to figure out how that's white supremacy, because somebody explained that shit saying
It's not
do
white
the right
supremacy
thing.
because, like, they always have done something.
You know,
just like that kid who got shot by the female police officer, you know. And I told my mother about it, and she was a little sorry about it. But then when I pulled up his rap sheet, I told her, like, you know, that man, if he'd have dealt with me, he was a dead man walking. Because if I'd have been one of those women who had been associating with him and he's tried to hold me up for my rent money, either I would have shot him right then and there because I carry, or my brothers or my, you know, father would have hunted him down. So he was a dead, you know, when you put it in that perspective, you just come from like a bunch of women who are not used to anybody protecting us. So when we see other people protecting, it doesn't look like that to us. And it was even hard for me, who is used to being protected, to like take race out of it and just see like he was a bad person who got what he deserves. And it just so happens that most Black men are bad people.
Here's the thing. This is why it's racism. Am I the only one who have ever noticed that when a white man walk into the room, these men straighten their spines?
Yeah, it was just like
they take that caps lock out of their voice right quick.
Yeah,
that
happened on the video we just watched.
You see, if he was standing in front of a woman, especially a Black woman, he would have had a lot to say and would have gotten in her face. But he was standing in front of a grown ass man. And he had nothing to say and nothing to do. And nobody wants to point out how he kept antagonizing that man. That man literally said multiple times, leave, go. And what was he doing? Standing there as he's getting angry, antagonizing that man, trying to provoke an altercation. But nobody pointed that out. And then they had a Black woman standing in front of that man's house talk about, so we want to talk to you, with a whole bunch of Black men standing behind her like a couple punks.
I noticed that too. They always have to be up in the front, but when it's time to get a handout or something, they big estrogen filled asses are always in the front then.
They don't know how to protect. They don't know how to do anything. They literally blame us for everything. Every time something happened to us, no matter what it is, we should have done better. We should have made better choices. But when we decide to give them that same energy, we're bed witches. Well, I guess I'm a bed witch because you can kiss the entirety that is my ass.
I'm a good bed witch.
I'm a proud bed witch, okay? You call me whatever you want, but...
Hell yeah, I'm a great bed witch. I do that better than I do nursing, goddammit.
I'm not dealing with any of this because y'all are grown men. I will never get over this. I will never get past how grown men just want to rest in their femininity all the time. I will never get past it. Talking about some what? Like it was trending how they wanted Black women to be sending them money. Talk about some you spend money on your Black. No, I don't. You're a grown man. I'm not giving you nothing. Go get a job. They always want somebody to do something for them. Just like with this whole child predator situation. You are a child predator. And what did you do? You brought up a Black woman. These men are asking you why you like little girls and you brought up a Black woman. What does she have to do with this?
Yeah. Ocean, welcome to the panel, hon. You got something to add, darling? Are you there, Ocean? And your camera's on. Cut your camera off. There you go.
Hey guys, I'm just listening in. I have my little person here with me.
I didn't know I was gonna get called up. I don't even know what the topic is. I just saw that you were going live on Patreon. I want to listen in. Who
All
was the
right, that's cool.
YouTuber
Hey,
that
little
got busted?
person. Oh, I can't say it in front of the baby, but it's a really big YouTuber that has 2.5 million subscribers. And he's out here trying to get some teen underwear, and it's very disgusting. And they had all the
Oh my
screenshots
goodness.
to prove it, all the conversations to prove it. They even did a video chat with what part of his body could fit in the video screen. And they had that as well. Y'all should go and see. I'm gonna in the comment section put the link to that video. Y'all should go see it. It was a bunch of deflection. He looked like
I'm
an
not
X-Man blocking
surprised.
hits. It was horrible. It was
I just
horrible.
want to say that I really love what you're doing, Divested Zealot. I tune in religiously. I knew I had to support you on Patreon, and anything I can do, I definitely will come up at another time. But I don't have a little person in the background, and I actually know what's going on. But
Listen, I'll tell you, jump in the Discord tonight. Bye, little
okay.
person. Thank you for coming up, baby girl.
Okay, y'all take care, ladies.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
I got somebody in the backstage, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what that picture is, but it looks like Robert Kelly. Okay, let me see what's going on here. What's that? Do you have a penis? Get your ass out of here. What? What?
I'm dying.
What? That's a picture of some black dude, and I heard the bass. No, you better get your ass in this back chat and clarify who you are. Get your ass in the chat and talk to me, because you know what zealot means. Do I need to share my screen and pull up the Webster's Dictionary of zealot? That's an extremist. It's an extremist, far to the left or right. There are no exceptions to the rule.
Okay,
all the way to the right.
He said he's white. He typed in here that he was white.
Okay, put
He
in
said
the back.
I have info. He said I have info about EDPS in the past.
Huh. All right. Look, wait a minute. We looking at you. Are you black?
No, I want to clarify that my image is it's from a video game. So
okay, that
this
looked
isn't
like
black
R.
and
Kelly
white.
to me. It was kind of triggering because that shit looks like R. Kelly from afar to me.
I have to really update it with the colored picture because it's
Yeah,
supposed to be
update
green.
that. Show some skin or some shit. I didn't know what you were. What you got to say about eat that pussy?
EDP was known in the past for this has already happened. This is the second offense that was public to YouTube. So as I'm concerned, like it's obviously a concern, but in the past, a lot of his like older videos, he has like confessed like that he gets no pussy, and the name's fucking ironic because he was a self-described incel. I could be wrong on that description, but it was
got
obviously
to be though. Look at him. How on earth can you thrust anybody? You know?
Of course, like all I knew of EDP back then, like all anyone really knew because we didn't really know he was talking to fucking children. But all anyone knew him for was him saying funny shit, and that's it. But then once this chick came out, it was like, oh yeah, wow, are you surprised? Like someone in power is abusing their power. Like,
I'm trying to figure out. Let me ask you this: What was his specialty? What's the appeal? What was his subject matter? How the fuck did he get 2.5 million subscribers? Please school me.
He was a person that just like said the funny shit that, like, I don't really know. The most famous clips are him like saying I shot my dog or some shit. Like dumbass fucking clips that like people use for shit compilations. He just made memes. That's basically how he blew up.
Right.
And he's fat. That's it. I don't know.
I mean, he is huge and got the nerve to be a deviant. Okay, a lot of how can I put this? Because right now we're in a little bit of company. This is the first time that a man was allowed up here. I had to make sure you wasn't the number one enemy of the people that are here. Black women's number one enemy sort of looks like them, except they have a penis. And I thought that's what was going down. So I apologize. But
no, it's okay.
It's just a lot of these dusties that are popular. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then when I see white guys in the comment section and they're quote unquote fans, even the guys that busted EDP on that video, they were ex fans of his. So I don't understand the appeal. What is it that makes somebody like you click subscribe on somebody like EDP?
Well, it would probably just be the meme videos, of course, because all this shit is under the surface. That's always how it is. Because these people are degenerates, they have issues, and he clearly recognizes his issues and he's trying to avoid them instead of getting help, which it's already too far at this point. He should have been in jail.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly. Do you know the tea on how he was able to get away with it for the first time?
I think at the first time it was like technically not illegal, but it was definitely a warning sign. Like it was 15 or some shit. It could have been 16, so it could have been legal in some states. But still, if you allow degeneracy, it's going to fester. If you allow someone in power to get away with these mistakes, it's going to happen again.
Damn right. I literally was saying that before you got here. I appreciate you spilling that tea. And I hope they arrest his ass now, because if he get away with it this time, the next time is going to be younger, because you see the ages keep dropping. Okay.
Yeah. It's really just surreal to see these people. Like I didn't look up to him certainly because he's just a shit poster, but you know, he's funny and no one likes to see someone like that they enjoy or someone that bring them laughter like turn out to be a predator or some shit like that, because it's really disheartening, but it just really points to the issues that we have.
Yeah, I agree. Zantana?
Hi.
Zatanna, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the panel, baby girl.
Hi. I'm happy that guy called in and explained like how EDP got big. No pun intended. But I want to call and share like a quick little experience I had. My great granddad died, and I found out he had a child, and my dad was like, yeah. I found out he had another child I didn't know about. And my dad was like, yeah, his son is my age. So I'm looking at my dad like, how was your grandfather's child your age? And then my dad goes, yeah, and the child's mom was 14 when she had him.
God. I mean, there's so many stories like this. I mean, if we put a brick down for every single story right now, we build back up the Twin Towers and Building 7. Jesus
I was
Christ.
like, whoa. So you mean to tell me my great grandfather, who I've been loving on and hugging on and kissing on my whole life, I loved him. I was like crying when he died and shit.
You find out stuff comes out in the wash. That's what I call it.
Yeah, I'm like, and then I was doing the math, and I'm like, that nigga was 45, fucking a 14-year-old. And then my dad was like, well, you know, they said he really was a dirty old man. And I'm looking at my dad like, that's not what he was. He was a pedophile.
I'm sorry that you had to find that out. Eesh.
Yeah.
That's what I am saying when a lot of people say that their dads or their uncles or whoever are unicorns. And then I follow it up with, well, you don't know how he treats others. Okay. He's an asshole to everybody else. So
I remember I called him recently, and I feel like I kind of put my foot in my mouth because I was like, yeah, the Nakers, they treat their preferences better, but I didn't mean like they treat them better genuinely. They treat them better long enough to get them in the bed and get a light-skinned baby out of them. And then they treat them just as shitty as they treat everybody else. But for all the people who are like, oh, so-and-so is a unicorn, you really do have to look at how they treat everybody and not just the women they prefer, whether it be because of their skin tone, their age, their body shape. I really wonder. I'd be looking at these people like, okay, so he treats the women in your family well, but like it's a man like that across the street from me. He married, he got a wife and kids, but he is so mean to his dark-skinned female neighbors.
I believe it.
And that's what I was like, I don't like that nigga. Like I heard some other stories that gave me the impression he a creep too. And I'm just like, I'm sure the women in his family think he's such a good guy, but he is a neighbor from hell to this woman.
Man, listen. B Tuck 92. I don't think I've ever seen you, but what's happening?
Hi, I guess I don't really have that much to add to the topic. Although I do remember when I was younger, there was a guy that lived on my block. He used to stand at the door when we were playing outside, and he would just stand there in his underwear, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
And nobody called the fucking cops. See, that's what I'm talking about. There are no consequences. That's why we got a 5,000 calorie for breakfast ass son of a bitch with 2 million subscribers being able to act like nothing happened. I mean, that boy was nonchalant. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, sure. I'll take off my glasses. Boy, do you know what you're being accused of? You don't recognize what's happening because it's not a Burger King menu, you son of a bitch.
So weird. So weird.
I can't, y'all.
It's not, to me, it's not weird. It's not weird at all. They think that this is normal. He was nonchalant because this is normal amongst black men. And the moment somebody looks at you square in the face and say, this is not normal, this is not okay, what do? They get defensive. He started walking away, not because they're calling him a child predator, because they were roasting him on
Yeah,
his
he
weight.
didn't start walking away until the dude was cracking fat jokes.
Because he wasn't offended by his sexual nature. It was the fat that made him start running. And I don't mean that literally.
He wanted to walk away from the conversation because they were roasting his weight, not because they were calling him child predator, because they don't see themselves as child predators.
He looked at the camera and said, just want you to know I'm not a P word, and then kept looking at, the guy.
Yeah, they literally like
exactly like the Black manosphere. They always talk about dating women that are 15, 20 years younger than them, women that were born when they were 20, 25 years old. They brag about going after women around my age. I'm 24 and they come after women my age, and they brag about it like it's something to brag about. These men are disgusting.
I feel like they're pissing on her head and calling it rain, because he looked at the camera and said, I'm not a pedophile. Meanwhile, he was telling a 13-year-old that he would put his penis in as much as she wanted him to, and go.
He sent her a jerk off video too.
Oh my God!
Wait till you watch that whole interview. The guy was like, well, you had to been hard when you send that video to her. And he was like, yeah, you can't jerk off unless you hard. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. And when I get off of here, I'm going to see what progress everybody made trying to get that boy locked up. Let's get some extra large handcuffs in this bitch.
Can I tell a story? When I was a teenager, thank you. When I was a teenager, I went to a family reunion with my mom, and it was about 10 or 12 of her cousins, and they were just all around the tables, just crying and slinging snot. And these ladies were in their 40s and 50s, and they were, recalling all these stories about how they had got raped by their uncles and so forth. And it was just, it was just sad to see how it affected them. Even when they had already had their children, they were still hurt like it had just happened yesterday. So when I got home, I asked my mom, I said, well, Mom, did that happen to you? And she was like, no. She said, but one time, she said, I was very vain, so I used to wear girdles. And she said one time, one of her uncles tried to rape her. He had her pinned up against the wall, but he couldn't get her girdle off. She was just screaming and fighting and kicking and stuff. And so she finally got him off of her. And her grandmother came later on that evening and beat her. She said she beat me bloody because she was the fast one. Now, she was like 14 when this happened, but she said that my mom was so fast and she was the fault of this. So this degeneracy in the females and the males in our community is just, it's heart-wrenching. It's happened a lot in my family, and I know that this is why this is important that you're doing this show, to expose it, because both parties are guilty. The men and the women are guilty.
It is heart-wrenching. Like, I broke up with a guy because his family had a real bad problem with protecting a pedophile. Literally, the uncle molested all the little girls in the family, and it's a whole story. But I
He
left my
didn't do one
boyfriend.
day of jail, did he?
No. As a matter of fact, one day the youngest realized that she was the only one who still her assault was still within the statute of limitations. And she was like, this nigga was raping people before he even came to my family. He gonna be raping people long after. It's up to me now to get him convicted. And so she pressed charges, and the family came to her and talked about how he was a godly man and all this other stuff, and they convinced her to drop the charges. And one of those family members was my ex-boyfriend's mom. I talked about her before. That's the man who said she went to kiss her son on the penis and shit.
Oh shit, not her. Oh my God, not her.
And I was telling my boyfriend, I'm like, your mom cannot recognize a pedophile. She cannot protect children. So if we have kids, they're not going to be alone with her. And he was just too damaged to stand up and be a man and be like, I'm gonna protect my kids. And even looking at my dad and the way he's responded to pedophiles, like, I'm like, nah, I don't think you're gonna be with my kids alone either. Because if your granddaughter come to you and say so and so did something inappropriate, actually, I've been in that situation before. I was like, Daddy, my teacher is doing something and it's making me uncomfortable. And then I told him what I did about it. I told him that I told like people above us, above the teacher. I thought my dad was gonna like march up to the. It wasn't a school. It was a program. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I thought he was gonna walk up there and be, that big black man and all, and he just defend his daughter and shit. He was like, "Oh, well, you handled it," and I was like,
"Wow." Miss Pearl says, "Do you remember when black men said they were going to shoot women all summer because Megan got shot?" This is what we're dealing with. Y'all better get armed. Y'all better have your paperwork together. And like I say almost every time we come up in here, tell your son to watch who he approaches, because that wave cap, I'm blowing it off. I'll turn that boy into a bowling ball with 3 holes. So plan your summer wisely. Anyway, y'all, I'm getting ready to hop off of here because I want to go find out and do my research on whether they're putting this fat ass motherfucker in jail. Anybody got any closing remarks?
I do, actually. On the notes of concealed carry, you do not fire warning shots and you do not shoot to maim. Because if you do that, the argument can be made that you didn't honestly feel fear for your life and you had no business shooting somebody at all. Take that and do with it as you will.
Gotcha. Thank you. Anybody else?
I have one last thing because I was reading up on it a bit.
Wonderful, because they like your accent in the comment section.
Thank you, YouTube commenters. Anyways, the reason why it was really hard to find it in the first place, because the first incident was someone catfishing him from a 16-year-old turning 17. And although I would still have him put into prison for that, in some states it's technically legal, so I don't really know the legality in his state. But that was in November, where it was like really widely known, and he started bitching and crying about it and making YouTube videos saying he was on rock bottom. So it's already happened, and once it happened again, it's not surprising he ran away. The fucking people who recorded him should have called first. Like, seriously, like.
Yeah, I was wondering, were they going to call the cops in the video, and I didn't see that. But I saw a video about an hour and a half ago where they were talking about getting him arrested. So that's, after I drag him, I am going to do my research on that, because I want to put a mugshot up in here as my default pick next time we go live.
Yes, and my last statement is kill all pedophiles. That's all I have to say.
Tell them again, god damn it.
Degenerates like those belong on a cross.
Oh yeah. Anyone else?
All I'm gonna say is check your laws, because you might speak up if you see something suspicious, but just like in Florida, if they're 16 years old, they can have sexual partners up to the age of 23 years old. So sometimes saying something might not do anything if the law is on their side, which sadly sometimes it is, because a parent can just sign their child over to a child predator.
Gotcha. Thank you for that.
I just have one last thing to say is that sex offenders, child sex offenders are now becoming a protected class. So
They are.
definitely check the laws because it's getting really bad.
Yep. They're trying to turn it into a sexuality. Thank you for that.
Hey, can I hop in real quick?
Yes, say something real quick with your echoing ass.
My bad, sis. Look, first of all,
You beat me to
September
it.
birthday. Okay, so yes. Hi guys, talking all that shit in the comments. But girl, this is such a huge topic and just something to touch on because childhood memories and stuff. And I just want to say, like, apes, they, like you said, they're a protected class, but the fact that mammies are so complicit, you know what I'm saying? Like, they basically cover for them, or they know stuff is happening and they don't say anything. I've seen so many occasions where apes are looking at young girls. And I mean, it just makes me so uncomfortable, but the girl gets the blame. Oh, she fast, she hot. I heard that my whole life. You know what I'm saying? But why not check your neighbor? Why not check your ape?
Never.
Why are you not penalizing your ape for looking at a girl? I've had girl like uncles, cousins, grown men, me at 12, 13, 14 years old, looking at me, and my mom, cousins, aunts, they didn't say nothing. I felt so ashamed, girl. I would cover myself, like put on jackets and stuff like that. I'm from Florida, by the way.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying a jacket in Florida. It was hot as hell, but I just felt so uncomfortable. Men looking at me, and they're triple my age. And my aunts, cousins, they knew. They didn't say nothing. Nobody protects black girls. Right.
They won't. They won't.
Right.
They won't ever do that. There's
but
a
they
little
look
girl.
at it like she competition, like, oh, she thinks she cute and stuff like
Of
that.
course.
This is a little girl. I'm not your competition. I'm a little girl. Like, what the fuck?
There's a little girl that hasn't been born yet that's going to experience the same shit you did because it's not going to change. It's just not going to.
It's so sad. I mean, it's just like, and I put in the chat too, like, have y'all noticed with the gender reveals, they're so popular, even though these hoes never get married. That's as closest to a marriage they gonna get is a damn gender reveal. But I've seen so many times where the, they reveal it's gonna be a girl and the parents are disappointed. That is so fucking sad to me. How are you unwanted before you're even born? Like, who does that? We are so fucking backwards. Right. Right. It's so sad to me. It breaks my heart. I cry for little black girls. Nobody cried for me. You know what I'm saying? I just feel so bad for them growing up, just unprotected, unwanted. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? Nobody advocates for us ever.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying, girl? I just had to say that because I was that little girl that got preyed on and nobody came to my defense. If anything, they like chastised me about it. You know what I'm saying? So
I do. I appreciate you coming up here sharing before the drag.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye, y'all.
Bye. So
yeah, sorry, I'm gonna say something. So
okay.
This is a serious topic, and I feel like it's very triggering for a lot of women. Obviously through child trauma and stuff like that. So I just want to say that I hope all you ladies who have been affected by pedophilia or molestation, that you're getting help that you need and that you heal, because this was quite triggering for me as well. But like, seriously, I'm on a journey to healing anyway. I have been for a long time. So
good.
But yeah, it's been a good channel. It's been a good program today, and I thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you fat son of a bitch. This is the end of my show. Check this out, you cupcake, steak cutting, butterball, stinking fat, funky ass son of a bitch. You got your nerve. You had your one, and you got away with it. You kept your fan base. Nobody ridiculed you, even though you're a fat, funky motherfucker. Then you had the nerve to bring your fat, stinking, cupcake swallowing, ignorant ass back to do the same thing, only with a younger person. I hope when they take you to jail that they starve you and put you in a really, really tight jail suit so that you have to twerk for the big bubbas that's there. Bend over and bust it open. Show them how much ass you got. All right? Disgusting pig. Bye, y'all.